Prime for your consideration experience, and we just had a super cool chat with the cast and crew of Fallout, and we're about to take you inside of the Prime experience, which includes Fallout, Gen B, expats, and more. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Thanks for tuning in. We didn't watch this, huh?
Welcome, guys.
It's lovely to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So much. 7 restaurants, the Moonlight Tango Cafe, the Great Greek, which is still there now, Cha 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 out in Encino, Cafe Athens down in Santa Monica, and a few parking lots. We didn't make a lot of money, but what we did do, me and a couple of my friends came along, is we employed a bunch of actors, and everybody had their freedom, right? You had money, cash in your pocket every single night. And that allowed me to begin going to class.
I mean, everything is built out. I wear the top half of that suit with a motorized helmet. It's about 50 or 60 pounds. It's excruciating, it's not comfortable, but you know, as Walton and I are very similar, we don't like to complain about anything, you know what I mean? We get put in a situation and it's really, becomes the challenge. So it was a stamina that had to be developed to withhold that. Because after, 20 minutes of wearing that thing, you're like, did we get the scene yet? You know, is it, can we stop?
Are there any do's and don'ts where they're like, don't put your head here or don't move it?
Do's and don'ts, don't break it, don't break it, no.
Don't break it, just please don't break it.
It costs a lot of money, please don't break this. No, I think I made my own list of do's and don'ts. It starts with don't dance for the crew in the suit when you first put it on because you won't make it through the 10-hour shoot day. Yeah.
That's what they ask you to do? The crew's like,
Dance. you got the suit on, now move, boogie. No, no.
Is this creature devoid of humanity? Of course, we see the other side of that with the flashbacks as Cooper Howard. And Aaron, do you see Maximus as the bad? He's certainly not an evil guy, but he struggles, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big conversation. I think, at least for me, it was. I felt like what was really challenging for Maximus was that tightrope. We really wanted to craft a character that was unique in that he's heroic, but not a stoic hero. He's just as afraid of, the danger as he is bravely going into it. He's dancing the tightrope in a way where we wanted to give an audience a chance to know that it could go any direction at any sort of moment with Maximus. I know certainly in our interrogation scene there's a lot of that. As we build the world of that character, it's at a certain point we're seeing the character make these choices in real time as to, whether he's going to bend towards one direction or the other. And yeah, so it was a big conversation for me. I don't think that, well, did you feel like that Good, Bad, Ugly was a big conversation for you? Was it?
It wasn't a big, big conversation, but I've watched that movie 10 times, and it certainly was a part of my process. And I did think about the way that the story itself was set up. It was similar, kind of in that way, and in some ways, the ghoul is like Tuco. In some ways, he's like Lee Van Cleef, and in some ways, Ella's like Clint. But all of those roles change, throughout the season, and depending on where you stand and from your point of view, morally speaking, right? A morality of convenience versus a morality that reflects the reality of life on the surface. Well, I don't know. Is the bad Lucy, or what? How do you really how do you measure that? What's the metric system in which you're using those labels for the people in the show? And so, yeah, that was a part of it. It was a great reference for it, and I think for writing the story for Geneva and Graham, it was a great template.
Yeah, I'm glad you still have your nose. I mean, I think about that, and
Not as much as my wife. My wife is so happy I have my nose. Yeah, no, I'm happy that I have it too. It was shocking seeing it for the first time. All of the people on this show, and so many. The
guy who has 2 noses. So
yeah, that's exactly right. But all the crafts people, I mean, the heads of all of these departments and all the crafts people kind of behind the scenes, the specificity that they put into all of these scenes and the work that they did on the nose and everybody else is just spectacular, really.
well, also just like these tiny little scenes and characters that you come across, you know, they're just in the background and they're sort of magnificent. You obviously are doing kind of dual characters in this show, and I wondered how you filmed that. Was it kind of alternating, or did you do sort of, you know, the Cooper first and then the Ghoul?
I wish that I had that opportunity. We didn't. No, we started with the Ghoul, and then we just went back and forth constantly, really. I mean, and so it was like, oh, okay, just depending. It was all location dependent, and the same with whether Aaron was in the suit for multiple days in a row or just like on your own.
To give me a break.
Yeah, to give you a break. Yeah, and I in hindsight, I understand why they did it, and I'm glad that they did it because my skin couldn't have taken the application. Literally, it just couldn't have taken the application for more than like 3 or 4 days, 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row. But in tandem with that decision, it was also really refreshing to me to go from one to the other.
Now we kindly invite you to visit our immersive experience where we are showcasing the incredible
That's nice. Yeah, you got them right there. Are these pages? Who you want to link some stuff? Oh yeah.
It's a comedy stand-up, and every punchline they're gonna ask you to strike a pose. They'll tell you on the screen, so make sure you look at this camera when you're striking a pose.
Oh yeah.
And not that camera, whatever that is, you know. And you might have to hold the pose because it's kind of weird. It does a strike a pose and then it goes blank and does strike a pose again. But it's all for fun, smile, laugh. It's like candid, you know. But go ahead and put your email in, okay? All right, have fun.
A small bowl of pasta at like a fancy restaurant, you're like, this is all I get, but then you eat it and you're like, I'm actually full.
Probably a sneakerhead in the audience.
Get some food. What is this? It's chicken and broccoli? Oh, it's chicken. That's nice. You went splat.
so your hands relax. There you go. Perfect. Good. Now look down the barrel of the camera right here. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Look serious. Look like you're gonna destroy the people behind the camera. There you go. Primal scream it if you want. Ah! Ah! Looks like you're smiling them to death. Ah! That's good. I'm gonna have to turn around. I gotta go see my wife.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Unless you want to turn for the photo.
Oh yeah, let me give this photo. Yeah, go.
I'm gonna get you versus that because YouTube will copyright it.
Wait, I don't want to be last.
Oh my god.
What does this really mean?
My turn.
Good looking guy.
I can see the inside.
With the missing nose.
I think I look cute still. You're supposed to drink the champagne, take a bite, drink the champagne, take a bite. Take a sip. Another bite. You're in the You're in the Mr. and Mrs. Smith room.
Oh. I've been eating non-stop since I got here.
Louder.
Non-stop getting shitty donuts.
He said he's been eating non-stop since he got here.